This is a message for the people I sent here from their comments they made on other videos in this series. If you get offended, that's a reflection of your own life and how you failed to live it right. Very profound, very deep, and very true words, rapped by Dax on the new Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, and Dax song called Black and White. If you haven't heard it, you should really check it out. It's a cool song with a great message. So today we're going to be talking about sign language. Now, I'm not talking about American Sign Language. I'm talking about an acronym for a debating tactic that unfortunately more and more people are using today. But before we get into that, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrew. So generally in a debate, or when you're arguing with someone or debating someone, there are two ways to argue. There's, in my opinion, the right way to argue, and that would be know your facts and argue a coherent argument, again, based and supported by facts and logic. But what happens when people don't have that and they're trying to debate? Well, this is where this sign language comes in. And SIGN is an acronym, and people who use this tactic use certain language that's meant to shame, insult, guilt, and basically in the end they just need to be right. Those are the four letters in SIGN. Now, historically, this has been used mainly by women, not all women. I'm not trying to say that by any means, but it has been mainly used by women. We're seeing more now that it's also used by male feminists who have aligned themselves with the women. And even now, we're starting to see it being used on the other side of the feminism issue. And I think that's unfortunate. And why I think that's unfortunate is because, to me, it's not a good debate tactic. It's effective, but it essentially shuts down a debate. And, well, that's what probably they're trying for. It's not actually, if you have facts and you have a coherent argument, I think it's much better to just stick to those than try to shame someone or try to insult them or guilt them into looking bad. Basically, like I said, it means usually that they've been told to believe something and they haven't looked into it. They haven't looked at their argument. They haven't thought it through, and they can't handle that. And they can't handle the fact that you actually have facts that goes against what they think is right or what they feel is right. And a lot of them get offended by what you're saying. That's why I quoted what I quoted at the beginning of this video. You being offended is a you problem. It's not a me problem. I could say whatever. I could say I love cats, and you could get offended because you only love dogs, and how dare I not say I love dogs. You can get offended over the most ridiculous things ever. I can try, and I'm going to try in these videos that I'm doing about men and women, not to offend people. That being said, you could get offended by me blinking my eyes in a certain way. So why do I care? The answer is I don't. And quite honestly, if you're offended, you're welcome. At least you had to actually think about what I was saying. And thinking is something that apparently we do very rarely anymore in this day and age. It's sad. It blows my mind. Kind of like this sign language. We live in a world where you have the entire internet at your fingertips in your cell phone. Cell phone's very dirty. I need to clean that. But it's right here. You can search anything here and get it within a second of searching. So how are you ignorant of the facts? You have no excuse to be ignorant unless you're trying to be ignorant, or just lazy, or just a puppet, or just a sheep being told what to believe and you believe it. That's what it comes down to. It's really sad. If you have a point of view or an argument, and you look at the data, you look at facts, and oh wait, none of the facts actually fit into my narrative or my argument. Maybe the problem is not with the facts, with the person saying the facts. Maybe the problem is your argument. Maybe the problem is your narrative. But anyway, I wanted to go into a couple of examples of these types of sign language uses. Basically, they're all just meant to dismiss your point, make you either seem like a bad person and so it's not worth listening to you, or just dismiss it, or somehow mitigate what you're saying by saying, well, there's something wrong with that person. That's basically what they're trying to do. Don't fall for that shit. I'll give examples of how I would counter it with some of these examples I give you. One of my favorite ones ever. Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Personally, if I was asked who hurt me, I would ask them. So if 2 plus 2 equals 4, and I say that, even if I'm hurt, does that change the fact that 2 plus 2 equals 4? The answer to that, by the way, is no, it does not. Another great example. Oh, you're just bitter. Again, something has happened to you, and you're not right because of it. So you're hurt, or you're bitter. Okay, so this is fascinating, right? Being hurt, being bitter would suggest that you are somehow a victim of some circumstance, right? Which is funny, because when they call you a victim, they're trying to mitigate what you're saying, and yet they will play the victim card as often as they can, because these days they think that victim and being right or being correct are the same thing. If you think that, you need to go check out a thesaurus and a dictionary, because they don't mean the same things. They have nothing to do with each other. Me personally, I'm not hurt. I've never been hurt. I'm not bitter about anything. I have nothing to be bitter about. Well, actually, that's not even true. I have a lot I could be bitter about, but that's not who I am. That's not who I make myself be. I choose to rise above it, and that's who I am. So if you want to be a victim, go ahead. Here's the thing. I will never be a victim. Victims get victimized. Period. End of statement. And I am not that, and I will never be that. So you can be that victim, but again, victim and being correct or being right are not the same, are not synonyms. They don't have the same meaning. And how is it if you're a victim, you're right, but if I'm a victim, my points don't count? Interesting. Think about that for a second. This is another great one. You have small dick energy. Why? You've looked? Do you know? Do you know? What if I told you you had cavernous vagina energy? Would that be appropriate for me to say? Probably not, right? So why can you say that? Plus, I thought you guys line up with body positivity. How can you be someone who says we need body positivity and then shame someone over a body part? Kind of hypocritical, don't you think? Okay, but again, I would just answer like this. I would be like, sure, it's small. 2 plus 2 still equals 4. What are they going to do at that point? They can't do anything, really, because, again, somehow the length of a certain body part would suggest what exactly, compared to the facts that we're presenting. And by the way, these people always try to challenge these against facts because they don't have their own facts that they can support their argument with. And so they have to do these undercutting tactics at that point. Now, if they do have facts, by the way, they don't use these tactics for some reason. I wonder why that is. Because facts are better. So that's why you should always stick to the facts and don't play these stupid games. I believe very much, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and this is a stupid game in my mind. So go ahead and play. For those of you who have made these comments and are watching this video, I doubt you've gotten this far in this video, but maybe you have, and good for you. But go ahead and play your stupid games. I don't play them. I don't play. I know your games. I'm aware of them. There's a reason this is the first main video I'm making in this series. I know that people are going to use this sign language, and I know that they're going to try to hit me with it while I make my comments in my videos. So go ahead, play those games. I don't play, I just keep moving on. Oh, you're insecure if you believe this. This usually comes when you're trying, I've seen a lot of this happen, especially when men are trying to say certain behaviors that women are doing. I'll give you a perfect example of this. Let's say a man doesn't want his significant other or his partner or his wife, his girlfriend, whatever it is, at a club, because the man understands that the club is a risk to their relationship. Now, he's not saying that it's a risk because of the woman, but he knows that it's a risk. That doesn't make him insecure. And by the way, he's right about that. Don't worry, I'll be talking about that later in this series of videos. It just means that he is seeing things in a different way than you are, and maybe you should, instead of maybe just dismissing, maybe you should actually hear what he's saying, understand why he's worried about what he's worried about, and not be selfish and just decide, hey, maybe I should do what I want to do because I want to do it and I say so. But there you go. Okay. So the next three are along the same lines. I'll address them all together. You hate all women. Sometimes they'll include something like a dirty shot, like including your mother. You're misogynist. You're sexist. You hate women. There are men in this world that hate women. There are women in this world that hate men, but it's actually very, very rare. I don't need to tell you this. I don't need to explain myself to you, but I will. I don't hate women. I don't hate men. I don't hate anyone. What I hate is the double standards. What I hate is the ridiculous behavior from both sides. I'm talking men and women here. I'm not just criticizing one or the other. I'm going to be criticizing both in this series. Just wait, you'll see. Just wait till I get to OF. I can't say the name, apparently, on YouTube, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. Well, yeah. I hate the double standards. I hate the being hypocritical on a lot of these issues. Speaking about being hypocritical, I was watching a podcast where a woman, for 5 minutes, just spouted, "Oh, women don't need men. If men disappear tomorrow, that's fine. If men are all men are dogs, etc., etc., etc." For 5 minutes, and as soon as the host brought up anything against women, she was like, "Misogyny." Well, guess what, ma'am? You're a misandrist. You hate all men. You've just literally said that you hate all men. Sorry about that. My camera cut off there. But I would say a lot of the women that claim that someone else is being a misogynist, I do believe that a lot of that is projection. There are some very hurt women in this world, and that hurt tends to, not in all of them, obviously. I would never generalize an entire group based on, one or two people. I think it's a little more than one or two people in this case, but it feels like a lot of women, are hurt by certain men. I'm gonna talk about this in my series, and they assume that means all men are like that, whereas they only go after this certain type of man. No, that type of man is that. Not every man is that. And that is a form of sexism. That is a form of misandry. And so I think a lot of that is projection when women are claiming that men are misogynists. There are misogynists out there. There are misandrists out there. They're very far and few between. But there you go. And lastly, you don't know what you're talking about because you're just a simple man. I've heard that one come up a couple times. Someone has still made that to my face. Okay, sure. I'm a simple man. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. I am as simple, as average, as normal as they come. I'm just a 35, almost 36-year-old Canadian who, I'm not that smart. I am who I am. But you're not any more smart. You're not any less simple than I am. Most people are this simple. There are a few exceptions out there. Hawking, Einstein, maybe Newton. Some people debate whether Elon Musk should be in that list or not. But most people are simple. So if you want to claim that I'm a simple man, how are you any less of a simple woman? And just saying man in that sentence, you don't need to. That's suggesting, or potentially suggesting, that men are just simple. And that's not true, but that's a form of misandry, right? Interesting, isn't it? So yeah, all of these examples, they're used to dismiss what you're saying, and the real counter to them is, let's say I am that. Oh my goodness. Apparently, my camera captured a little bit of the second part of the video because it shut off once before, but didn't capture, or it corrupted most of that video. So I've been troubleshooting for a little while. We're back now. I'll finish the video. As you can see, we are now joined by my co-host Shadow. He's just chilling on the bed there. He's just had his supper, and he's quite happy now. So he'll probably chill out there for the rest of this video. So yes, I believe I have to the point where I was saying, don't play these games. Don't get dragged into these games at all. If they say you're hurt, or say, okay, well, let's say I'm hurt. Whatever fact I just gave, so let's say it's 2 + 2 = 4. It can be any fact. How does that change if I'm hurt? Ask them, how does it change, even if I'm hurt? But the answer is it doesn't. And if they say anything else, you just say, no, you're wrong. It's a fact. It doesn't change based on anyone's feelings, based on how anyone feels, or anything like that. I will be talking about facts. I'll be talking about common knowledge in my videos. I will go into my feelings as well, but I'm going to very clearly let you know that when that happens. And honestly, if they start using this sign language, best thing to do is to challenge it the way I've suggested, and don't play into their games. If they say you're a sexist or something like that, don't start arguing over whether you're a sexist or not, because now the debate is whether you're a sexist. The debate is not what you're originally talking about. And so it's not worth playing these stupid games. Again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Just know a lot of the times if they're doing this sign language, it's because their feelings got hurt. And as I said at the beginning of this video, you know what? You being offended is your problem, not mine. And that's the way it is. And like I said before, hey, great, you got offended. That means you actually had to think about the issue. You had to think about what I was saying. Most people won't think about this stuff. They won't deal with it. They won't think about it long enough to actually come to their own conclusion, because they're being told what to puppet, what to say, what the right answer should be. No. I don't play those games. I won't play those games. I will keep doing my videos. If you make a signed comment, that's why I'm making this video. I want you to know ahead of time that I know the playbook you're going to play with. And I don't play. So I'm just going to keep going. And anyone that puts out these sign type of comments, these sign language comments, hi. If you've made it this far, good for you. I doubt you will, but if you have, like I said before, good for you. So that's it for this one. Next week I'm going to debunk a couple of ideas that have been set forth surrounding a certain narrative. I don't want to give too much away because that's for next week. But until then, I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.